I feel like I'm getting older by the minute.
That's weird, that, ain't it? How strange is that? You feel like you're getting older by the minute. It's almost like that's how time works. What's going on in Hinkenbergs? KD here, and before we get on with another episode of the In Your House Comedian Podcast, the show where I sit down with one of my fellow funny friends from around the comedy circuit. But before all of that, to remind you all, this Tuesday and Wednesday I will be at the Actress and Bishop in Birmingham for 2 nights of... excuse me now, I almost lost my voice. I hope that doesn't happen. For 2 nights of experimental comedy nights. First of all, on the Tuesday with Gerb Chima's Trigger Warning show, and then Wednesday the 23rd of November will be the first ever KD's Comedian Quiz Off on stage in front of people. A show that's been 2 years in the making, over 2 years in the making actually. We've done over 40, 50 episodes of the Comedian Quiz Off, but they were all in front of a computer for you sexy online people while we weren't allowed to leave our houses. Hosted by myself, of course, the comedic babyface Kd Hinken, and the contestants will include, but not limited to, Nathan Parrish, Alex Plant, Griff, Callum Jarvis Jones. We'll also have Marc Ley and Gerb Chima doing performances and joining in on night 2. A special classic comedian contestant from the Quiz Off that will be coming down as well. It will be 2 teams of comics going head to head in a variety of different rounds, doing silly stuff, and to see whose brain can withhold ridiculous information and who's better at completing tasks. Come along, pay what you want. We're all broke, so if you can't afford much, that's fine. If you can throw a bit of money into the bucket, then that's cool too. Special score master Just P will be there as well. But enough from me. It's time to go from me to me. This is the In Your House Comedian Podcast number 42 with Marc Ley. KD, hit that jingle.
Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with the Babyface and his fellow funny friend. Now hold on to your butts. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Marc Ley. If you don't know me, then I'm a terrible person. I'm the worst person. But I'm kind of funny, so I get away with it.
Yeah! And the fucking best laugh ever. Out of all the comics I've met, you have my favourite laugh.
I think I told you this last time, but I've kind of gone from like loving my laugh to, so I've kind of gone from like, hating my laugh to being like, oh, it's so loud and annoying, to being like, oh, I like it because it makes people like, feel good, to also like, and then I've like flipped to the other side where I'm like, I hate it again, because whenever I go to a comedy gig, I'm like, they're talking about how much I laugh. I'm just like, oh, just leave me alone.
So I swear you told me about this when, so take the curtain back. Oh, I'm still looking at the wrong bit. Take the curtain back. We did this podcast before. It was very messy because there was a lot of different parts, and a chav came in halfway through that we started talking to for reasons. It was a very fun night. I mean, that was the night actually when we started at like, it must have been like 8 or something like that, and I had another podcast to do at 2:30 in the morning with the wrestling guys.
You told me, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that'd be cool, man, I'll do this. I'll have a few hours to kill then in between. Now I'll go do the wrestling podcast. What actually happened was we were chilling and drinking and whatnot for so long that I looked at the clock. I was like, "Oh, it's 3:30."
I'd rather die. Just like
that seems like a bit of an escalation, but okay.
No, seriously, I would rather die because just 6 hours of straight, like, just like being hysterically social. Like you
were here. That's what I'm saying. You were here the whole time.
I was having fun with it, but at the same time, it's just like if I go to a party, like there's my mate Matty, my best friend. He lives in Preston.
One of my best mates, mate. Yeah.
Sure.
Not the same one. Like
my best friend Matty, he lives up in Preston. Do you know where Preston is?
Vaguely. Is that the posh place near to... I know it's not here, is it?
No, it's in Lancaster.
Near to, on the way to London or something?
No, it's up north.
See, I'm terrible with geography. I'm getting better with world geography, but show me a map of my own country. Fuck knows.
I spend too much time on Google Maps to not know about
Good
that.
Man, okay.
By the way,
I kind of like that.
My best friend Matty, he lives up in Preston, and every now and again I'll go up to his place to because he's having a party or something like that. And every single time I'll get there at like between like 6 and 9, and at about 12 p.m. while the party's still going, I'll be like, I've got to have some sleep, man.
I know many of them. Yeah.
Like I'm pissed drunk and I'm having a great time, but I'm just like, I need to lie down.
To be fair, you know what? It's funny because one of my actually you've met him, the big goth dude, the evil hippie, because he doesn't want his name made for reasons I don't know.
Oh, the guy we met in the first podcast.
The big man,
yeah,
with the long hair. No, not him. That was Nathan. The guy that one of the times when I ran into you. It's the thing, we ran into each other so much. I ran into you and I was with a big tall dude. You might have thought it was Nathan because it was very dark at the time.
Oh yeah, it was. You were walking to the bus stop.
Yeah. That big fella. He was one of them. Whenever we went to a night out, like when we was more your kind of age, or like, you know, probably like 21 or 25, that kind of time, he would be the one that would get wasted really quick. Evidence is in the case of about 3 years in a row at New Year's parties, he was dead before we got to New Year's. Like, and even one Christmas, I remember we was all at the field smoking and getting drunk together, and he did the epitome of he was just too drunk, he wanted to sit by a tree. He even said the classic lines of, guys, please, just go on without me, guys. And we were very loyal. We were the kind of mates, you know, that would wait around. Like they waited around for hours for me in town and stuff, and I used to get wasted at clubs, and I just was like, oh yeah, I'll be fine in a minute. Didn't realise I'd actually gone to sleep for like 3 hours on a step. But they would wait the whole time. But we left him in that time. But he became eventually now where he is so anal about how much he drinks, he doesn't want to get to that point, that he's now the kind of person who doesn't get as drunk just because of that. So you might find it goes the other way.
Oh yeah, it's going the other way with me. It's going the other way with me.
No, I'm saying you might find when you get older it goes the other way though.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting older by the minute.
That's weird, that, ain't it? How strange is that? You feel like you're getting older by the minute. It's almost like that's how time works. I'm sorry.
No, I think that a completely different way. No, I just love people calling out, like, oh yeah, like, obviously. Like, I just love when like, people call shit like that out.
Yeah. No, but I bet you do feel... Well, actually, no, we was on about this the other day. You still get over hangovers easily, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm like... Even then, like sometimes I'll, like, have a hangover and I'll be like, oh, fuck, this sucks. And then, like, it'll be, like, later and I'll be like, oh, it wasn't that bad, was it? And I'm like, I can't be doing this shit when I'm, like, 30, man. That'll hurt.
Yeah.
That'll hurt.
You know what? I was on about this recently with Nath, I think. I might have been hippie. I'm, at the moment, like, experimenting with my... I was about to say experimenting with my body, but that sounds fucking at a whole other level. That's not what I meant. But it is as well. I'm experimenting with, like, what I can drink and how I need to prepare and what I'm doing on the night to make sure I'm just alive the next day. Like, all these different ways. And basically what I figured out is, and I'm not doing it tonight, actually, that's not good, have a Lucozade Sport with you constantly. Weirdly, I've learned what helps is eating a lot or enough and hydrating yourself fully.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Strange,
good.
Yeah.
Strange how taking care of yourself makes you better.
Yeah. It only took me 31 years to realise this. Well, okay, let me be nice to myself. It probably wasn't my thing to realise for the first 9 years or so. No, 20 at least.
I think the way that I'm at right now is that I've realised it, but I just don't do it. Like, it's just, it's just easier not to.
You're at the age when you can get away, but still do.
Yeah, that's what annoys me. Is I know that I'm not going to be able to keep living like this. Like, I'm going to have to change pretty soon. And I'm going to have to, like, fix up and, like, be more healthy. And that's what annoys me. Knowing it's ahead of me.
I don't know. I remember because I never even thought I'd be someone that would really even think about taking care of myself. Yeah. But I'm very mature for who I am now.
I get you.
Which is somebody who loves being unsober, don't get me wrong, loves it, and wants to be a comedian and puts all his time into that. Like, statistics, or just looking at normal people, none of us are particularly functioning in that case.
Not even close.
But I'm the very good version of myself right now.
I get you.
And I'm not just trying to have sex with ladies all the time.
Good for you.
Thank you. You don't understand how much of a good thing that is for me.
Oh, I get you. Like, that isn't even something that's on my radar, because I just sort of like, it's one of those things where like, I know that if I wanna sleep with someone, it's going to be so much more effort and so much more like. It's going to like take so much of a toll on me that it just won't be worth it.
No, the worst part is when it comes to me actively being a recovering slag is it's not hard, that's the problem. Well, okay, no, I mean, when you're doing it, obviously. If not, then you've got another issue. But the actual act of getting there, it's not hard. It's really not hard. Like, honest to God. I've said this before, I talked to Nathan about this a few times on the podcast, like, it's just being a dick. Sorry. It goes react to you being a dick. I don't know why.
Oh, so you're saying like...
I think it's like a hunter-gatherer instinct.
They like that.
Yeah, which is why, as someone now who's more mature, realising what I used to be when I was a slag, I'm like, nah, I wasn't a nice guy. I made myself think I was, because I was completely honest about my intentions and all that.
You weren't like trying to be better.
No, I mean, I wasn't lying to them about how much of a dick I was. I was being a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, I was being a dick, but I was being honest about it. It doesn't negate it at all, though.
I do think there's truth in that, but I think it's more sort of like you have the opportunity to be like, okay, I'm a dick right now, I suck right now, I'm going to be that right now. Or you've got the opportunity to be like, I can be better than that, so I'm going to try and be better than that.
Yeah, you should get to that point. That's the lovely thing about it. As you get older, you realise these things. Like, I think I think every guy goes through a slag period. Every guy goes through a period when they realise, oh, this is what I have to do to be a slag, and then they do it because you realise it's not that hard.
Yeah, they sort of fuck around with. Yeah,
this has been an ongoing rule that has been proven right to me consistently through my friends.
Yeah, you really don't have to try that hard to like just be a fuckboy. It's weird.
It's just be confident in yourself, man. That's all it is.
It really is, and that's the weird thing is that you can be a fuckboy so easily. Like, there's so many guys that want to be that, but when you really look at it, it's just like, just get drunk and just say whatever you want to say.
I think every guy, when they're younger, if they get the chance to, should do it like up to like 25, 26, that kind of time. Or any age, actually, as long as you're not realising how to be a slag when you're in a committed relationship. Then it's an issue, as evidenced by this rule being proven right by some of my other friends who are in committed relationships. And as soon as somebody learns how to be a slag, they want to go and be a slag.
Yeah.
It happens. It's just, it's a guy thing. But it's also the reason that... This has gone weird straight away from the beginning. This has gone weird straight away. We'll get back to normal in a minute. But it's also the reason why humans are the main species, like, in the world, is because guys are just constantly thinking about having sex, or it's something in their head. You know, it's just a thing. That's why we've become the most dominant species, because guys always want to have sex. Women are the ones that can have babies. Do you know what I mean?
I get what
just in an animal sense, like rabbits. I mean,
I don't think that's exactly what makes us like the big dogs.
No.
Because you know, there's a lot of other species out there, like, they fuck way more than us, you know.
Well, yeah, but there could be. But what if there was only like 10 of us? I know you're on about like evolution with how smart we are and that kind of stuff. Or is that why we're the dominant animal? You mean? Or
I think because we're smarter than the other animals.
But if it was only 10 of us, wouldn't matter. 10 of us against what?
I think we make it.
50,000. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something evil that fucks a lot. Chimpanzees fuck a lot, actually.
Me, something evil that fucks a lot.
Yeah, another guy, another dude,
a regular man.
But yeah, I mean, it's still kind of true though. Like, I learned something the other day. Well, it's two. I relearned a fact, but it's also I learned another fact. Guys get morning glory because I knew this one part, that it's because it's the body's way of stopping you from pissing yourself in the night.
That's incredible. That's so good.
You don't know that?
That's so good.
Honestly, the blood constricting is to stop you pissing.
That's fucking incredible. That we need a mechanism to stop ourselves from pissing. Like we need like a biological like, oh, stop pissing yourself. It's just so at the forefront of the mind. Where it's like we have to piss ourselves. We just need like a biological constraint. To be like, no, don't do this.
Well, that's what like back in like ancient tribe times and stuff, like to wake up early for an attack or something. What they would do is drink not gallons, but loads and loads of water. So they'd need a piss early because you don't think back in the day of like hunter-gatherer tribes and all that, or like it wouldn't be hunter-gatherers, but you know like before they had alarm clocks, basically.
Yeah.
How would they wake up? And they're travelling around as well, so they haven't got chickens to cuckoo, or whatever it is they do.
Is that really how with an erection? They were just like, oh, I'm hard now, time to start the day.
No, not an erection. Well, yes and no. Yes, they would drink a load of water, so they'd wake up needing a piss, and then be like, oh, I woke up earlier because we need to go and attack these. Yes, they would also have an erection at the same time, I guess, because that's just how it goes. I don't know about the physiology back then. I don't know.
What? I've got an erection.
I learned something else the other day. Sparta, Spartans, yeah. They're seen as like the manliest of manly warriors and all that, aren't they? The epitome of like masculine warmanship and all that. Yeah.
I get you. I think I do at least.
Do you know what Spartans are? Or?
Yeah,
300?
Yeah, like the ancient Roman times.
Like, yeah. Have you seen the film 300? This is Sparta!
Obviously I know that scene.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie. So
that's all you need to know, man.
I think I know more than enough.
To be fair, actually, you know what? They do look very similar to Romans, actually, because it's the red style, the same kind of Iron Age thing. So that's, yeah. But they were seen as like the most manly, like, and best warriors. But because they spent so long around other men training their whole life, that they just kind of... They all were like bisexual, basically. But I think they were all in your way because apparently they all had to... It was a regular thing for the women in the tribe to shave their heads so they'd be more attractive to the men.
That's amazing!
Legit thing, man. It's crazy.
That's so good. just having to look more like a dude so a guy could fucking... And it's even
I'm going to get the beers, actually.
Sorry?
I'm going to get the other beers.
Okay, I'm in the toilet actually real quick.
See, that's one of the things that... There's very few things that I don't like talking about and making big points about on the podcast. That's one of the few things. Because they get angry. They don't even know. They don't know who I'm talking about. Actually, that sounds racist now, actually, doesn't it?
It's cool, you are.
What? You just say I am racist?
Yes, let's go. What? Let's go with that.
What? How dare you say that on my show, sir?
The funny thing is, you're making such a joke out of it that it seems like you're racist, but you're playing it off like you are.
Yeah. What can I say?
Maybe I am.
Maybe I'm just a huge racist. I just do not like all the people. I am part German, to be fair. But then again, Hitler wasn't, so...
You know one of the funny things?
Go on.
It's actually, I've got this bit that I'm working on where I say that, like, oh, guys, I'm a racist because I hate white people.
We do suck.
And I hate black people. And I hate Asian people too. I hate all the people so much.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I think it's so funny, the idea of just like hating all of the races, like exactly the same.
The funny thing is though, I say the exact same thing but in a completely different way, because I say I am not racist, I hate all people equally.
Oh yeah.
So I am not racist.
That's it.
Okay.
You hate them so much that it's like you're a racist. But like for all of the people.
For all the people.
Yeah. You're like a peopleist, basically.
A peopleist. I just don't like people. To be fair, I don't like people.
They're not the best, are they?
You know what? I say that.
Better.
I used to not like people a lot more, and then one of the things that I wanted to get into comedy for was just because I always... Well, not one of the things, but one of the things that I was happy about getting into comedy is that people always felt the same kind of people Like, you know, I was listening to like Chris Rock talking. I think it was Chris Rock talking about like going to somewhere and he'd look for the other comedian around, you know, and talk to them because we're the same kind of people. And it's very true. Like out of most of the people, as you know, most people in comedy I've met, most people are fucking lovely. It's nice. It's a nice little community camaraderie thing. Yeah. This isn't going to any anger part or anything. I'm actually just saying, like, most of the people in comedy are nice. It's cool.
Have you seen the Jerry Seinfeld? He was doing this like award show, and he was doing like not an acceptance speech, but he was sort of I think hosting it or kind of. No, I think he was accepting an award actually.
Okay.
And when he got up, he went on stage and he said, like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, if I'm being honest, I'd rather be at the back of the audience, like with some comedians talking shit about how bad this is.
Yeah.
That's sort of like
That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's the exact kind of vibe you get with like comedy, where it's just like, like fuck this. Well, that's the fun vibe, where it's just like people are just like fuck this.
Yeah. We're just the same kind of people, very much so, and it's like we can have like little arguments between us and that, but if it came into being a room where there was like just all different kinds of people, we'd bunch together. We'd be like I was about to say flamingos. I don't know why flamingos came to mind, but we'd be the flamingos standing in the corner on one leg while half our body's gone to sleep. Did you know that about flamingos? When they stand on one leg, half their body's asleep.
That makes a lot more sense actually, because there's no other reason to really be on one leg. You know?
No, literally, that's how they sleep. They sleep half their body at a time. And they're not even supposed to be pink. Do you know why they're pink?
Why?
Because of all the prawns they eat. With the pink algae. It's something to do with what they eat. It's either prawns or pink algae. It's one of them.
That sucks so much. I'd rather die. I'd really do.
You have a lot of things you'd rather die than do, isn't there?
Oh, there's so many things.
Welcome to the new segment of the show. What things would you like to do or die from? You know what I mean.
Do this or die. That'd be great. That'd be another great podcast.
Do this or die.
Do this or die.
That's a good ring to it as well.
That actually really does. I
suppose that kind of fits into your little idea before. Tell them about. Do you want to tell them about your idea or?
Okay. I haven't started it yet, but I've got an idea for a podcast called Is It Banter? And basically, what we're going to do on Is It Banter is we're going to bring up a subject topic.
Hold on. Trademark. No,
trademark it, copyright with the C with the circle around it. We're gonna have we're gonna bring up a topic each episode, or like multiple topics each episode. They'll each get like 5 minutes, and we'll be like, "Is it banter?" And the thing is, you know, the funny way that I actually thought about this, I'm looking forward to it. It's
a really good idea. To be fair, it's a good idea.
I'm very proud of it, and I'm looking to start it pretty soon.
You need to start it right away now, because this will come out in a few weeks. So someone will steal it if you don't.
I've got to beat you. I've got to do it before you put this out.
There you go. You can use my stuff if you need when you're recording. It's fine. Use the room as well.
We've got to be way more professional than.
What the fuck are you trying to say right now? You come into my room. Not only calls me racist, but also says his podcast has to be more professional than mine. Because what were you about to say? A blanket on the wall?
No, obviously this is the best podcast in the world.
Well, let's not go too far. I am no bold man. I am no bold man who is into psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
Either one. All of them. All the cybins. I'm talking about Logan Paul. I'm talking about Logan Paul, just to clarify. The top
I think
number one podcast. What? Top podcast? Joe Rogan? Craziness.
What was that?
They should have a man-on-man relationship and figure out a way to have a baby, and it can be Joe Logan.
Joe Logan.
Jogan. Okay, you've done about the podcast idea now.
Oh yeah. Is it banter?
Is it banter?
We come up with a different idea each episode, and we go like, is it banter? And the thing is, for every single topic, it'd be like super offensive, but I'd be like, yeah, it's banter, and I'll just find a way to talk about how funny it is.
Let's do a little mini version then. Let's test the waters.
Okay. Can I tell you actually how I came up with this actually?
Okay, yeah, go on. We need the backstory first. We need
you
the
may
lore.
want to cut this because it's incredibly depressing, but I'm cool with it. Like,
I mean, I'm not going to cut anything.
I'm down to fuck around.
And I mean, I should care about how the audience feels listening to it. I should. Carry on.
Sorry.
I'm still thinking I should.
Don't worry, like, seriously,
I'm just taking a piss.
I'm down to fuck around though, on a real, like, I'm like...
I don't know what that means. I don't speak young.
No, I'm saying, like, if this fucks up our careers, then, like, fucking, who cares?
You can't fuck up your career before it started. What are you talking about?
Fuck up the
Both
chance
of
for
us.
the career.
This can't fuck it up. Nothing we could say tonight that I will allow to go online could fuck up our career.
Oh, that's the thing. So I might say something you might not allow online.
No, I'll make a note if so. I don't think you would, because I know your sensibility and you're not a bad person. So I don't think I would only take something out if it was something that I really thought the person meant and it looked like they meant it.
I get you. But
do you know what I mean?
I do get you from your point of view, but from my point of view, I'm like, if I think something that's dumb, then just like let me put it out there. Like, you know, one of the things.
Oh, if you ever want anything cut, you just have to say. People have done it before. A few people.
But I really don't give a fuck. Right? Like, I like put it out there.
Yeah, cool.
Like, what I was going to say is one of the things that someone told me, is that the reason we say what we're feeling, why we say what we're saying it honestly, is because sometimes you think something that's dumb and you don't realise it's dumb until you say it out loud.
Yeah, that's
like,
totally.
Like if it just manifests in your head and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's true. And,
Yep.
and you'll just think it's true for a while. But you need to say it out loud so you can be like, oh, I heard what I just said and that's dumb.
Yep.
So that's why I'm kind of cool with the idea of putting out a podcast, because I'm just like, it will let me realise
definitely.
what I said was dumb. I'm not perfect.
That's exactly why people say that and comedy as well, because some people do comedy in the same way where they just talk, you know. It's therapy in the sense that that's literally what psychiatry is. When you talk to someone, you know, you say it, sometimes just saying it. Like, I use a few of my mates as sounding boards, you know, for that very reason. Well, not just for that reason, but you know what I mean. It's the same thing. It's very true.
So it's
but it's
a
also
sounding board.
A sounding board, yeah. Like, you know, the same thing, a podcast is a sounding board where you say to it, it's just, you know, you're saying it to it, and then sometimes just saying it. Like, you know, it could be like playing ping pong, and I'm saying it to that. You know, when you play ping pong, but you're the kind of person, or table tennis, for your British people, you weirdos, that playing table tennis, and then you haven't got a friend, so you put the other half up, and you hit it at the board, like in longest yard. That sounds like a sounding board you say to the board. It's a very weird analogy, and I've never spent so long explaining what a sounding board is.
I know that was such a long analogy that I don't even remember what the analogy was about. I was just like...
No, you were saying about how when you say something, it could sound stupid, but saying it out loud, you know, Same
it's
thing.
sort of like having a conversation with yourself, where you're sort of like convincing yourself that you're dumb, not having someone else tell you that.
Well, the sounding board is more saying it out loud, and it's like, if you're saying it to me, I would be your sounding board. You're bouncing it off me.
Oh, yeah. I get what you mean now.
But yeah. So I like this idea. It's a very good idea. This is basically therapy then, the podcast.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Generally, when I think about it, I'm like, this is therapy. Where I just like, it's just nice being able to like, sort of, like I said, like, the threat of violence. This is removed from here. Like, I'm never going to like, say something and then on a podcast someone's gonna like hit me.
Yeah.
Where it's like I can just say what I want to say, and then like later, like sometimes you say something that's dumb and people are like, "Oh fuck you," like in a mean way.
When you say something's dumb, now what do you mean? Because I know you said that a few times, but I think sometimes when you say that, you mean if you say something that you meant one way, but it's taken offensively as well.
Oh no.
Or just something dumb.
There's still that certain degree of that where like people react the same way when people think that something's dumb, but at the same time, like, I sort of, when I hear myself say that, I don't have a problem with that. So
that's okay. Yeah.
I know that's something that's not going to change, but the things that like change me, the things that make me grow, are when like I say something and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't think that anymore, so I think that less later.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. It's like it's kind of in general as well, like when you talk and sometimes you'll say, like, for yourself anyway, like if I say something, I think as a comic, one of the things, and as a podcaster as well, you should be true to, if you say something, as long as you're okay with it, then you should do it. You should be confident about it, say it, do it. If you learn something different later and you feel bad about something, or you feel like you said something wrong and you understand why it was taken wrong, I also think comics shouldn't be afraid to apologise either.
I get you.
But then if it's a situation like a cancel culture one, where people are forcing you to apologise, you know what I mean, like Kevin Hart with the Oscars, for example, you shouldn't apologise then a lot of the time, because if you apologise, you apologise for what they think you've done.
Yeah, I get you.
Rather than what you actually have done or said,
like,
or whatever.
The intentions were good. You feel good about it.
Yeah, man. Like this cancel culture thing, man. It's nice now in the sense, as we're saying outside. It's nice now that I think that emphasis is going back more on to, let's not assume he meant it a certain way and give him a chance kind of thing. Yeah. But that might be me being optimistic, I don't know. You're not a bad person, I'm not a bad person, which is why I'm okay with what I say. Well, okay. I'm not a bad person, he might be. The jury's still out, I don't know.
Who knows?
No, but honestly, man, like, I really do believe that all you can do, each person, is say the things you think are okay, really think are okay. And then if they're not okay, you'll find out very quickly.
Oh yeah, like seriously, like you, and that's one of the things what I said earlier, is because like about saying things and then like feeling that like that's not right.
Yes.
It's because whenever I have something to say like that, like sometimes I'll just say things because of the moment, because I get caught up in the moment.
Yeah, same.
And then the second it comes out of my mouth, like I will feel bad about it. I'll be like, oh, why did I say that? It's such a stupid thing to say. So it's like you fuck around and you find out immediately. You find out if what you're saying is good or not, like immediately, you know.
Well, if it's taken that way, because other people take it a certain way doesn't mean it's not okay still. But I know what you mean.
I do get you, and I think in the moment it feels like that.
Yeah.
Where like in the moment someone reacts badly to something you say, even though you know you had good intentions. But like, I feel like a month later, you'll be like, oh, like, I meant well when I said that. Yeah, I was just saying I was just being real.
But yeah. But at the same time, what I also mean as well, though, is that just because you say something and it's not taken great, doesn't mean that that group is always right. Like, if you're saying a joke on stage and they're like, oh, I don't know, and then it ripples along, doesn't mean that crowd's like, if it's worked in 17 other places, and then you go to one place and they're like, I don't know about that, doesn't mean that that group's right.
I know what you mean. And that's one of the reasons why I like comedy so much, is because it's so like objective. Mm-hmm. Like, where it's just like...
Subjective.
No, I feel like it is objective, because like, if someone doesn't like a joke, you're just like, oh, that they just don't... It doesn't mean the joke isn't funny, they just don't like that joke.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for each person, it's objective, yeah.
It's like, when you take the general like law of averages, it's like, it's very objective. And it's like just, oh, like some people don't like some things that you say.
Yeah, okay.
Like, do you remember the 2 minute joke that I told you on the first podcast that we did?
The what?
The 2 minutes joke.
Oh, 2 minute joke?
Yeah. It's a rape joke.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Well, like,
don't say it again, because it's a really good joke, and you should keep that for just on stage.
Oh, I'm never saying it on stage again. Never
what?
saying
No,
it.
what?
You never get
just pick your time. Pick your times.
No.
If it's all dudes, do it.
No, the time is never. That's when the time is.
See, this is what I'm saying. Just because anything can be joked about. You're not saying rape is okay. If you're saying rape is okay, then that's different.
I think there's exceptions, and I think that rape is the biggest amongst them.
Well, in your opinion, that's the thing. Everyone's opinion is different.
No, I get what you mean, and it is my opinion. But my opinion is that just like, even when, like I said, I came up with the rape joke, and like I made like a really bad joke, like a really good joke. It's a good joke, but it distasteful one at best. And I sort of I love the joke, but at the same time, even though I made the joke, even though I'm the one who made the joke, whenever I hear the word rape, I just
But then say that word. Say surprise sex. It rolls off the tongue a lot better.
It's
just like surprise sex.
I wish that made it better, but it doesn't. just the thought of it, man. Oh.
No, I'm not saying rape's okay. That's the point, though. If you're not saying, like, I don't think anything is. Well, as far as I'm concerned, nothing is against rules when it comes to jokes.
I get what you mean.
Nothing. Even if it's something that would bother me, even if it's a joke that somebody made against me that was, like, may bother me at the time. Like, if I was doing a roast battle, for example, I'd want nothing off limits. Yeah. Nothing.
I get
nothing. Because,
I
I suppose it depends on the friends you grew up with as well, because I've grown up with friends that would go into you.
I'm the same way.
So I don't feel like any comic could actually really offend me.
I get you, Jaden. Me and my friends who are so mean to each other.
Yeah.
Well, I need to tell you this. When I was about 13, me and my friends, we all went in this WhatsApp group chat, and we all had the roast battle. It lasted. We set a time limit. It lasted an hour, and we were like, we're going to say the meanest things we can about each other for an hour. And there was this one guy whose mom had, I think it was osteoporosis. It's a disease that makes your bones like hollow.
Yeah, brittle and that.
Yeah. Like your bones basically, they're
You're not good either way. You're not good.
Oh no! You're
I know you mean.
bad.
Yeah, I know.
And like this guy's mom was bad, and one guy he said, I know that your mom wishes that she could have beaten you, but she just doesn't have the backbone. Like, we were 13 as well. 13 years old.
That's great, that is one.
And another guy, he went, I've got a picture of your dad, and then he sent a picture of Henry Hoover. We were 13 as well. There was so many like burns in here. I'm just like, next level, holy fuck. And I'm just like, people, like adults that didn't go through this, they're not going to get it. They just won't. They couldn't.
See, mine was all in person. We didn't have any technology when obviously we did. I got young, but like literally when we used to do a lot of our like chilling and that, like 17, 16. Facebook started when I was I got my first Facebook profile when I was 19. That was my first social media thing. I don't think WhatsApp was around before that.
No. Facebook was around way before WhatsApp.
The Facebook. I've seen the film.
You've seen the Social Network?
I've seen the film. I like that film.
Great fucking film. Great film.
Now, yeah, that's how you should do. That's how we should be with friends, though, man. Like I've always said, I've always said that. I've always had a group of friends, like a close group. That's what we did. We ragged the shit out of each other, and we went to a boys' school as all boys. That's all anyone did. And yes, as you can imagine, about 60% of the people I went to school with are now fucking each other. It's just how it goes.
Like, do you ever see those memes about like the boys' bathroom and the girls' bathroom? Like what they're like?
No, there wasn't a girls' bathroom. Did you not listen to my story?
No,
there wasn't a girls' bathroom. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not that.
Yeah, obviously get what I mean.
Yeah.
But those memes about like, the boys' bathroom and the girls' bathroom, how they're so different.
Yeah.
I feel like a boys' school is just like a boiling pot. A boiling pot?
No, you're right.
What?
Melting pot.
A melting pot.
Yeah.
Where you just put like boys in one and girls in another, and you just see the difference. And I went to an all boys school for about 3 years.
Oh, you did as well? Oh, good man. Okay. Okay, good.
So I get it. I get the vibe.
Poor man.
Where it's like,
poor man.
pretty.
No, I don't mean poor as in no money. I mean poor man.
Oh, I thought you meant porn. I thought you said porn.
Well, to be fair, thinking about the areas where there are boys' school, yeah, probably that too. Yeah. I know the areas. I went there too, so.
You lived around the area. You get the vibe.
I lived all around Birmingham. Yeah. Okay, I went to my boys' school. That I went to was Wheelers Lane Technology College. We say technology college. There was no technology whatsoever. There was blackboards everywhere. We had like 3 classrooms out of the whole place that had the smart boards. I mean, I don't know what people had. We had, but back then we had no iPads. We had no. Fuck knows what technology was back then. To be fair,
you were reading books off of like sheepskin, shit like that. You were fucking.
Yeah, we were fucking sheep as well. We had no women, so we could.
You didn't even have books, nothing like that.
No, just sheepskin. Fucking the sheep while making the books.
Fucking the sheep.
We had no women, that's what I'm saying. Flashlights weren't invented then. What else would we do? We actually had a teacher who, this is how like classic it was. We had a teacher he lives around here with us. I see him walking around. Who would do the classic hit you with a ruler, or that classic shit. He had like the desk here to go down, and if you weren't paying attention on your desk, you would just slam it on your fingers.
Do you ever? I need to ask you. How many teachers do you think you have that if you saw them like just walking down the road today, you would punch them in the face? How many teachers do you think you have?
None.
Really?
I'd want to with one.
I have at least 2 that I'm sure that I just deck.
Okay, please explain this.
There was this one guy called Mr. Carroll. Do you know St. Bernadette's?
I was going to ask you what school. Which ones? I've heard of that.
St. Bernadette's on Hobble Road.
Yeah, there's it like the Red Junior School.
That's the one. That's
And
the
it's-
one.
you got. Oh, so you're on about junior school?
Yeah, primary school.
Okay, whatever.
There are secondary school teachers that I think I would have to.
Yeah, this is the thing on my mind. I assumed it would be secondary school. I don't know why.
Even then, like when I say it, I don't think there'd actually be secondary school teachers that I'd punch. Honestly,
Okay.
maybe it's because I
interesting.
was just more mature, so I got it more. But
Weird.
like, I just feel like there were some pricks in primary school. They were just
Wow.
like. Do you ever like? There's a lot of teachers that I was like mean towards, and I was like, I shouldn't have been so mean to you. Like I was like, this was me being young. This is me being.
I had that time.
You remember that time, and like,
Mine was the last 2 years of secondary school, so I should have been a lot more mature. But
yours was last year.
last year, yeah. There is riots, you know.
But I look at these situations where I was meaner to these like teachers than I could have. I should have been nicer.
Yeah. You know, you can't help it. You were young.
But there's also some teachers that I look at and I'm just like, I should have hit you.
I should have been meaner to you.
Should have been way
meaner, yeah.
I'm so glad that you get that. So I'm like, oh, seriously, like I know I was mean to you, but I should have been so much more meaner.
Oh man, there was my one teacher that I hated. He did you ever? You probably do remember Jeremy Kyle.
I know Jeremy.
Yeah, he looked identical to Jeremy Kyle. He acted like Jeremy Kyle. Imagine Jeremy Kyle as a secondary school teacher. It was him. I don't know why, but he hated me. Hated me.
Oh, I get it.
I went down from the top English to the third just because he was a top English guy.
Oh!
In the last year, this is year 11, and I was a dick as well. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But he was a dick as well. I got all my coursework to him on time, as I said I would. I wasn't happy about it, but I got it all to him, and he didn't send it off. Legitimately didn't send it off, and I got a U.
I would be so. I would have hit him.
I was supposed to be doing media, and I couldn't do media because I didn't have the grade. But then, luckily, the teacher that I actually talked to, the media person, she, for some reason, I don't know why, she actually believed me. And she let me retake it at the same time, and I smashed it. She was like, yeah, there's no way you'd got a U. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm good at this. English I'm especially good at. I like writing. Weird that I got into comedy.
I feel you.
Fucking dickhead. Yeah, I would punch him actually. You know, after, if he walked in right now, yeah, I would punch him.
You get it. You think about this. And just, like I had this one teacher called Miss Mealy. She was quite like a fat girl. So I used to call her Miss Mealy's on Wheelies.
That's good though.
And she was so... I remember there was this one week where like there was this teacher I had the year before, and I didn't like her. I was like quite mean to her. And then one of my head teachers said like, "Why don't you just try being nice? Why don't you just try forgiving her?" And I did that, and we were great. We were like really wicked with each other.
Yeah.
Like we got each other, and she ended up being my favourite teacher in the whole school until she left.
It's weird how that can happen, isn't it?
It is, man. It is. It's so fucking weird. Where like you can just like hate someone and then be like, oh no, you're actually like a cool person.
Some of my best friends, two especially, I started out almost coming to blows with, and then it was just one of those realizations, and then because I'm very prideful, man, like I can't help it, like, you know, but like that big dude, the goth guy, he was one. He used to fucking hate me, and one of my old bassists from my old band, first time we met, it was very much he was a chav, I was not, but it was just one of them, and ended up being best friends for fucking ages. My two best friendships here have come from almost coming to blows beforehand.
I kind of have that. I'm not friends with anyone right now that I like at the start came to blows with, which might be a personality defect. But at the same
How
time,
dare you not almost come to blows with some people?
But
Just I was a bitch back then, so I wouldn't have come to blows.
oh yeah, I get it.
You know,
I
was a bitch.
I'm a bitch
so.
right now, so I get it.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, I get it.
Give
I
it a
get
few
it,
years, fine, you'll get there.
But I remember there were these kids in primary school, right at the end of primary school. Well, like, I went up to them, and like there were two of them, and I just like sort of like pushed them, and I was like, "Fuck you," and they were like, "Why are you so angry with us?" And I was like, "Because you guys have friends and I don't." And but they were like, "Do you want to be friends with us?" And I was like, "Okay." And they were like, "Cool." After that, well, like, I bullied these guys like a month, and then they were just like, "Do you want to be friends with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh, that is beautiful.
It's nice.
That is very nice. See, most people are good at heart.
They really are, man.
It's very true.
I hate to admit it.
It's annoying, ain't it? Yeah.
It really is. Where like so many people that I've talked to have sucked.
Yeah.
So why can't I just be like, "Oh, people suck"? That's the logical option.
Because then you have to acknowledge that in those moments, maybe I sucked a bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is the worst part. But it's a very mature thing to realise, though.
Literally, you said you don't know how much you like saying that called me out like right now. And I was like, "Oh, maybe I suck. Maybe I suck."
No, we all do, man. I would have never even been close to acknowledging that when I was your age. So you don't suck as much as I did at your age. I would have never acknowledged. I was straight up like, and I very recently with my main group realised, not recently, but over like 4 years ago. But it's been a weird, like however many 3 years I need. So, that I was one of those people that, if there was an argument, when the argument started, I don't mean an actual angry argument, I mean like a debate more than anything. Even if I realised I was wrong, I'd have to carry on trying to prove my point.
And that's one of the things that annoys me the most, is where I'm just like, you don't have to be right. Like you can just be wrong. Like it's fine.
Now I realise this. Yeah, now I do.
And I do it too sometimes. So I sort of get it. I don't do it as much as most people. But
Good man.
I get it. But even then, like, just like when people just like, it's just, you just have to like sit there and you just have to sit through it. And you're like, okay, a month from now you'll realise that you were in the wrong.
You have to take your pride out of it, which is something. Like I said, I'm a prideful person. That's why I've had these little things of like comics and that online. Yeah. I'll pause. I'll have these little
podcast together. It's gonna be called the Drumming Boys.
Oh, happily teach you how to drum. It's just the only issue with drumming, though. This is the problem, though. It's a hard instrument to have in your house. For example, you need a studio. There's a great studio not too far from here, though. Pyro Studios. You ever heard of that?
Heard of it. A couple of my friends have been there, so I should have been there by now. But I haven't.
It's great because when we were banding, this wasn't a thing. We had like a lock up, so we had to pay like however much like each month to keep it, so we could go whenever we wanted. But I think it was shut from like 12 till 8, something like that. But this Pyro Studio, 24-hour.
Really?
No, you'd never have to talk to a single. If you want to go there, for example, me now in my how I am, I very much sometimes really enjoy the idea of going to a studio, getting really high, playing a drum kit to myself with music in, and never having to see a single person. And in that place, you don't. You get codes. You can go in. You don't have to be social in the slightest. In the slightest. You can get wasted, do what you want, play a load of music. Fucking amazing.
Like I said, I should have been there. So it's sort of like weird that I haven't. It's sort of weird that I can't relate to that. But
Well, have you ever played in a band or anything?
not really. I played like with people, but I've never like, played in a band like that.
Well, I don't mean like specifically like, done a band and continued, but I mean like have you played like with people then?
I've played with people. I say it's like a sort of it's a very like the lowest form of that almost.
It's all the same thing. But like, I just mean like if you like jammed in. That's what I mean. You jammed with people.
I've jammed, but at the same time, it's basically just like E chord, A chord, D chord.
Man, it doesn't matter. You don't understand how like all of like when I was in DB10, most of our songs like when I started that band, I started playing drums. When my bassist started that band, he started playing bass. The only one who had ever actually played their instrument before we started that band was the guitarist. Great guitarist, not a good singer.
You were just having fun.
I love you, Dan. Still, you know what I
do. Like, you were just having fun with it, though. Like, you were just like...
No, we were into it. We were gigging around everywhere, man, for like years. Like, it was really fun. Like, banding is great. It's just I realised while doing it, I love drums. I could play drums on my own, like sat, just playing them forever. I taught one of my good friends to play drums as well, and it annoyed me when he got good, so I had to get better at that point too. No, but drums, I love. Drums are the first recorded human activity ever.
Really?
Yeah, that's how natural drums are, a drum beat. But I realised while playing in a band, I wasn't that passionate about music.
I get you.
I just wasn't.
I'm sort of at the same point as well.
Yeah.
I'm just like being a rock star sounds like cool, but like I just don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't give a shit.
If you highlight into it, man. Like, I enjoyed going and being with my mates and getting a bit drunk, and I enjoyed the drumming. But as far as the music itself goes, I didn't care.
We can be comedians, it's fine.
That was why I decided to be a comedian, because I really like performing in front of people. And it used to bother me then that they'd never give me the mic. It was like a thing I wasn't allowed a live mic. Because when I was given a live mic, well, I'd say the stuff that I say on stage now. But less refined then.
I get it, because it's sort of like, being a comic is sort of like, this is your time, and then this is everyone else's time. Like, it's very defined. Like, there's no bullshit there. You just like, this is your time, this is everyone else's time, and it's just so nice. Like, there's no,
just
like,
you as well.
to it. Yeah,
just you.
It's just you.
That's a huge part of it.
Your thing.
Yeah.
Right, 10 minutes, and then for 2 hours it's everyone else's thing.
Yeah.
But it's cool because you also know it's everyone else's thing.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, is it my time? No, it's their time. Like.
Well, let's go to Hollybush.
To be
fair, he's got so much. But the way he does it now, you actually know when you're going on and stuff. Like, the Hollybush is great for many reasons, but
that's why I like the Hollybush. I don't know when it's my time.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So I'm sort of going up there, and it's sort of like, it's like a sense of selflessness, where it's just like everyone's just sort of like, oh yeah, like we're here for comedy.
Yeah.
We're here so that the acts can get better, so that they can try their new shit out.
And it's mainly comedians there as well, or people that know the comedians. You know, the audience generally is built through the comedians at the Bush as well. So there's a lot more respect there. There's a lot more like you wouldn't expect to go to the Bush and have, you know, like I was saying earlier, someone start on you while you're on stage. You wouldn't expect that there.
It's like friends of comics.
Yeah,
like, they understand, like,
a level of respect.
You're not in the easiest spot right now. Like, you're trying your best, and you're really like, the adrenaline's going. It's like, ha. Like, they're just respectful of that. You know?
It's one of them. Like, I like to always like big down, like, to, you know what I mean? Not big up, the opposite, whatever that is. Situation for myself, but then it's like, as a comic though, doing it on stage, you have like you can't help but respect anyone that goes on and does the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
I get you.
It's a respect there. It's a hard thing to do, man.
It is, man, and it feels so weird saying it's a hard thing, because it's just like going
so simple.
And just like it's just going up there and talking, and it feels so weird, like saying like, oh yeah, this is difficult,
which is the beautiful. Like,
it's like no one else gets it.
Yeah.
That's why no one else gets it, because it seems so easy.
Yeah.
To the point where you couldn't believe it was hard.
Have you ever been at a gig where a member of the public, because we're soldiers, damn it, a civilian has said that like, oh, it's easy, what are you on about, and then come up to the stage, or especially it usually happens when there's not a stage and it's just a mic on the floor, come up on floor to grab the mic and then start doing it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that happen?
It's like just starting is like a difficult like vibe.
Have you actually seen that then?
What do you mean?
Like literally, I mean literally, like you're at a gig and I remembered like someone in the crowd would be like, oh, it's easy, and they'll get up and want to come on, and either the person will invite them to do it or they'll just do it.
Oh, I've seen that once, kind of, but they were taking it as like a joke. Like the fact that it was going badly was like the joke, you know?
What, the gig was going badly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
the
could
fact that
work.
the gig was going bad. That's the only time I've sort of like come close to seeing that.
Oh, I mean, I can't remember how the gig was going itself. I just remember one woman coming on stage and being like, oh, it's easy, what you're on about, and started jumping up, and even her crowd, she walked, she came from the crowd, started doing it, and the crowd were just like,
Yeah.
like looking away. It's like, it was the end of the gig.
I get you.
She might be funny, I don't know.
You know,
She
the funny
wasn't
thing
then.
is, even though that she's an asshole, I feel bad for her. Like,
I don't.
really
No,
do.
she's not an asshole. She just. It's very true.
She didn't know the vibe.
But that's how. To be fair, if anything, we should respect her more, because all of us as comics, at some point, have looked at the comic and thought, I could do that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so embarrassing to say that.
Every comic agrees, man.
Like every comic that's better than you is better than you because they've just bombed more than you. When it really.
That's
comes
true
down to
too.
it.
Yep.
Like they've just been through it more.
It's lovely hearing like proper established comics now, like, you know, people online and that talking about their worst situations. It's great.
Yeah.
Like, listening to Kevin Hart the other day, and these are old videos, but I listened to him again recently, where he's talking about some of his most terrible gigs, and he was at a male strip club. Have you heard that story? He was like, I was at a male strip club. I'm not going to try and do that. I can't do that.
A white guy trying to be black.
Yeah, I can't even do another white guy. But he was talking about doing the gig like at a male strip club, and they came up, and it was like they roped off the gig, the place first for comedy, and then it was like stripping after. So all the women were in there, you know, like, oh! And he walked on, and one of them straight away was like, get it out. And he was like, I'm not here for that. And he was like trying to make these jokes, and no one was really into it. And there was just a load of women, but right at the back there was this one dude, and he didn't realise it at the time until somebody threw a chicken wing at him, and he got buffalo sauce in the eye, and he was like, who threw that? I swear to God! Assuming it was all women, and then he saw this big huge dude standing at the back. It was me.
So immediately look, oh, never mind.
Oh, goddamn. Shit. Well, I guess I'm blind now. That was my near enough for Kevin Hart, I think. I'm a fan of Kevin Hart, though. It's funny when you say this, like, who actually, I don't know if I know this with you. Actually, I know Anthony Jeselnik's one of your favourite comics. I know him.
My favourite.
The favourite, okay. Any others that you're quite big fans of at the moment? Any other comics that you're fans of?
Samuro, do you know Samuro?
Who?
Samuro.
I was in the guy who ran our circuit.
No, it's like a general comic, like a famous guy.
Oh, I'm thinking of Sam. I know. I'm thinking of Sam Tahino.
He's is that a local guy?
Not local, but like doing better than us, obviously.
Yeah, he's not on Netflix yet. But
No, but he's been on the
famous.
quiz off. Oh, you're on about one of the people that's been on the quiz off.
Oh,
And one
he's
of
on the quiz off, then he must be so famous.
He's been on the quiz off. One person been on the quiz off, and also been on a couple of my gigs, and he's on Netflix right now. So that's actually
famous.
true. It's not, but much more famous than all of us. He's on Netflix in a film right now. So my George Coppin, just in case. If The School of Good and Evil, it's a good film. Watch it.
I won't tell you actually. There's one of Anthony Jeselnik's jokes that I love so fucking much, where he goes, I was at this airport bar recently when I got talking to this guy, and I asked him what he did for a living, and he said, "Oh, nothing much right now, but I used to be a priest." As in, oh fuck. So we get to talking. I talk to this guy. We're having fun. We're connecting, and it's nice. And about 2 hours later, the priest leaves, and he says to me, "Hey, Anthony, you seem like a straight shooter. So I'm gonna be real with you. I used to be a priest, but I got kicked out of the establishment because I molested a kid." And he goes, "Now, after talking to this guy for a little while, for about 2 hours, I've got to admit, he was a pretty cool guy. You know, if you could forget about all that Jesus bullshit."
Yeah. Yeah. See, he is very Norm Macdonald, Anthony Jeselnik, very much so. I need to listen to what I know. I was thinking about this when we was last talking, so I remember this. I've seen his face since. I still haven't listened to much of it though.
He's like a genuine, really like wicked, like just he writes jokes.
Yeah, actual.
Like every single joke he has is like a joke in itself, and it's so like you can tell that he just really respects the craft.
There's a word for it. It's like subverting what's expected.
Misdirect.
Yeah. It's like subverting a misdirect or something like that. Or fucking hell, I forgot about this. It's slightly bent because I fucked up the leg earlier. On the mic stand for anyone that's just listening. Not my leg. I did not fuck up my leg. My leg is fine, and I know you care. You all care so much. I know you do. I'm fine. Just in case anyone's scared.
I won't tell you the one and Jessica.
Go on.
I've ruined so many like.
I was waiting for you to say it. As soon as you said that next bit, I remembered that. Go on. Say what you were saying.
It's one joke where he goes.
I mean, the first bit first, though. You ruined so many.
Oh yeah, I've ruined so many conversations just by being like, "Let me tell you this joke." Like I've just, and they just go like, "Do you remember the rape joke that I told you?"
Yeah.
I've ruined more than a few conversations just by being like, "Hey, let me tell you this joke."
Well, if you're saying it one-to-one, I can understand, especially if it's a lady.
I've told that to a few ladies, and the only ladies that have reacted well to it are ladies that I could tell, like, they were like, "Oh yeah, like, I'm down for this. Like, let's fuck about. See how this one goes."
As a recovering slag once again, most ladies, I say most ladies, a lot more than you think, have a rape fantasy. It's so weird. Weird.
It's weird to think about.
No, it's weird for them.
Did you tell me that the first podcast we did?
I probably did. It sounds like something I've said on one of them before. Sounds like something I've said before anyway.
Sounds like me.
I fucking learned it. I was about to say the hard way. The fun way. No, it's so fucking true. Ask any slag you know, man slag. Ask any honest girl as well. It's like, in my opinion too, when you come to like, it's like what? Yeah, there's a little bit in now, so it's fine. I can be offensive now. There are two types of ladies in the world: ladies that suck dick, and ladies that lie about sucking dick.
What about all the ladies that don't suck dick?
That's my point. There's two types of women in the world: women that suck dick, and women that lie about sucking dick.
I think there's ladies out there that don't suck dick, if I'm being honest. I think they're out there.
Yes. Lesbians. Okay, I forgot about that. Yes. Hardcore lesbians. Okay. They don't suck dick. That's true. Taking them out of the equation. My fact stands up.
Even then, like, haven't you met like girls that like they was like, "Nah, I'm not a sucky."
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I have actually one.
Just one.
Out of all the women I've been with, I can think of one. Honestly.
Because when you consider the fact that I've asked zero...
It's rude. First of all, it's fucking rude. If you go on them, and they don't on you, That's fucking rude.
Oh yeah, if you go on them, then sure, then sure. That
You'd think.
If you just like get back to your place and you're just like.
See, the reason this is so much in my head is because one of the last ones before I stopped being a slag was this situation that I'm talking about right now.
That was the wake up call. That was when you go, fuck, never mind.
There's a taste more than anything, to be honest. That's such a lie. I'm totally one of them dudes that you have dudes that aren't into it. I am a dude that's into it. So when they don't recuperate, no, what's the word? When they don't reciprocate, something like that.
It's not resuscitate, Mark.
It's some kind of motion.
We
know
it's so annoying.
It's so close, isn't it?
We should both get this.
It's
we're
so
both so close.
Oh well, we're a lot closer than I was at that time anyway.
Look, can we devote a bit of time to figure out? Because it's going to piss me off.
It was like, you used to like reciprocate.
Reciprocate!
Yes!
Oh my god!
Fucking hell,
that
there we
was
go.
out of nowhere. Like, I genuinely, like, you don't know how happy that is. Like, I was like, let's try and figure this out. But like, it probably won't work out.
I've had a few more years with the English language than you, my son. I've learnt it.
You're just more experienced.
I have a better lexicon. What can I say? But I also have a worse bladder.
Oh man. Mine.
Right then, okay. It has been longer than I realised, Joe. It's been well over now. So we've got over the proper limit anyway. Limit for a podcast? I don't need to think. I mean, I can see. It's been exactly an hour, 15 and 16 seconds.
Oh shit, good for us.
Yeah, we've gone over the time and we've all the pauses in between and grabbing other paraphernalia drinks. So, we actually have some things to plug though actually before we finish up, because we are recording this on Thursday, and coming up this Wednesday, or in a couple of days, probably when this comes out, will be KD's Comedian Quiz Off, 23rd of November at the Actress and Bishop. It will be myself hosting. I will also have Nathan Parrish as a contestant. I'll have Alex Plant as a contestant. I will have Callum Jarvis Jones as a contestant. I'll have Griff as a contestant. I know the people. Don't remind me, I know them. I didn't almost forget at all. And a special contestant that will be popping up that confirmed with me today. So she is definitely coming. And I say she, I don't know. Maybe it's not a dick fest. Who knows? Who knows? But we will also have Just P as a special scoremaster, and yourself, Mr. Marc Ley, and GURPS Chima doing little sets in between as well.
I'll try my best.
Oh, you'll be great with a bass.
I'm sure I will. I always am.
He won't be. I'm tempted. I'm taking the piss. You're one of those people that doesn't realise that they're as decent as they are. I say that actually. A lot of the times I've seen you, you've been quite confident. The last time I saw you, I could tell you were nervous as fuck at Trigger Warning, which I will also be on the night before with the Actress and Bishop on the 22nd of November.
Oh, yeah.
22nd of November, and then I'm there for 2 days in a row, baby.
It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, man, I'm going to be putting my sleeping bag outside of the Actress and Bishop. Might as well. That ain't going to happen.
I really am looking forward to Trigger Warning, then
Quiz Off. Gonna be a good 2 days, man.
It's gonna be a good 2 nights in a row.
And the man that you can't see on camera better come. He's not gonna come. Right then, do you have any other plugs you need to throw out?
If you guys want to follow me, I'm making a cult. The cult's gonna be pretty cool. We've got a bunch of people joining our cult, and it's going to be really cool. We've got a whole cult going on. If you want to have your soul stolen, then come on, join our cult. It's going to be real fun.
Just one of the things where if you say the word cult enough, the cult will form. It would manifest.
No, it's not even that. I feel like it's the opposite.
Okay.
Like, people say like cult and they just hear like something bad immediately. But it's like
that's because I keep hearing you say cunt, that's why. Good job I left that till right at the end to say, because that would kill your YouTube algorithm, majiggy, whatever it's called.
No one would like that. No one.
What are we on about? No one likes this anyway.
Come on, join my cunt.
To be fair, if I was asked to join a cult or a cunt, I know which one I'd join. The cult, I would. I can't help it. I want those robes. They're so soft. Some of those robes they have, and the trainers as well they give you. Have you seen that? There's a Hollywood cult now. It's crazy. The woman from Smallville is in a cult. Well, she was. They branded everyone. It was unreal. So long. Wait, did I just make out that Judaism was a cult? We should end this podcast. Let's end it.
Let's move on from it.
Yeah, but for me though, KD Comedy Inc. as always, like, share, do that shit, those things. Peace. What was that?